and stop right where you stopped? Dr. Kane, you don't want none of this? What we talking about?
I'm listening.
Oh, you bionic. I forgot. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Op. You got it.
Most I spake unto Moshe, saying, Send out men, that they may spy out the land of Canaan, which I give unto the children of Israel. Every tribe of their father shall ye send a man, every one a prince among them.
All right, stop right there, please. The Most High commanded to Moshe, send out men to go and spy out the land of Canaan. This is our future home. Send out these men to spy out the land. But he didn't just get any man. He didn't even get regular men. He said the men that went out were what?
Princes, leaders.
They were princes, meaning they were leadership. These wasn't just regular men, you know what I mean? They weren't just regular, oh, Jim, go check that out. These were the people who had influence over other people. When the prince said something, the people's supposed to move out. Come on. When the prince said something, the people's supposed to move out. So the Most High was setting it up from the beginning, that I want my people to be influenced by whatever it is, the report that comes back. We in Numbers, the 13th chapter, the first verse. So I want y'all to keep that in mind while we're reading. The leadership of your people are supposed to be influential to the people, meaning that the people are supposed to listen and obey, or pretty much consider strongly what that leadership is saying. But now what he did was he took one prince from each tribe, because he wanted everybody to be responsible for their leadership at that position. And watch what takes place. Now they're going out to spy out the land, and let's see what happens.
And Moshe sent them from the wilderness of Paran according to the commandment of the Most High, all of them men who were heads of the children of Israel. And these were their names: of the tribe of Reuben, Shammua the son of Zakur; of the tribe of Shimon, Shaphat the son of Hori; and of the tribe of Judah, Caleb the son of Jephunneh.
Who of the tribe of who? Of the tribe of Yehuda, Caleb out of the tribe of Yehuda. Remember that Yehuda tribe, please. Read on, please.
Of the tribe of Yisachar, Egal the son of Yosef; of the tribe of Ephraim, Hoshea the son of Nun.
Of the tribe of who?
Ephraim.
The biggest two nations, Yehuda and Ephraim. Remember when we were in, that's right. And both of them got their rulership, the staff or the rulership of the nations of Israel. Very important. Both of these two men were the two men that represented eternity for the nation of Israel. And we don't even see it right now. We don't even see it. The kingship came out of who?
Yehuda.
And Joseph. Both of them. The kingship came out of both of those tribes. Now watch what takes place though. Read on, please.
Of the tribe of Benjamin, Palti the son of Rafi.
Can't hear you out.
Of the tribe of Zebulun, Gadiel the son of Sadi. Of the tribe of Yosef, namely of the tribe of Manasseh, Gadi the son of Susi. Of the tribe of Dan, Amiel the son of Gamali. Of the tribe of Asher, Sethur the son of Mikael. Of the tribe of Naphtali, Nabi the son of Vapsi. Of the tribe of Gad, Gedwell the son of Maki. These are the names of the men that Moshe sent to spy out the land. And Moshe called Hoshea the son of Nun, Joshua.
He called his name Yahashua. Now his name was changed at this particular place that I know of. It was changed. He was from Moshe to Yahashua.
Yeah.
Read on, please. But this job that they had was extremely important. Read on.
Moshe sent them to spy out the land of Canaan and said unto them, Get you up out of this. Get you up this way by the south and go up into the hill country and see the land, what it is, and the people that dwell therein.
Now, stop for a second. Get ye up and go spy out the land. Check out the people and see who dwell within the land. Let's buy some land in the land of our captivity, and let's form a government. And let's take this government and get strong to the point where we can govern ourselves. And then we'll seek out how we can get sovereignty so that we can really rule ourselves as a sovereign nation within a nation like other people do. We have the ability to do that. But you know you got a lot of Israelites that's going to be totally against this. I threw out a taster out in the crowd the other day. I put up a post about, do you think that we can rule ourselves without the Europeans? And you will be surprised at some of the responses I got back. A lot of people said no. It's not time, we can't do it. See, those are the people, that not them as the people individually, but that mindset is the mindset as to why we're in the condition we're in today. Think about this for a second. A slave master had him, his wife, and maybe about 3 or 4 children in the house. And 25 slaves. Why are they slaves? Y'all don't hear me. The slave master had maybe him, his wife, and 25 children in his house. And about 5 children living in his house of his seed. And about 25 slaves that look like you and me. Why are we slaves?
Somebody's scared.
They decided to accept it.
That's it. What I'm saying to us all right now is that this government don't rule over us except if we allow it to be. On a higher level, what I'm saying is we have to take back our sovereignty because they're not going to give it to us. And why can't we understand this? But when Prince talk like this, people get upset. Yo, what are you talking about, man? We slaves, man. We can't do this. Look, we can't even work together on the Shabbat day. How are we going to rule ourselves? Those are the weak individuals about us, the weak-minded individuals. But the resolution to this is their minds need to be strengthened. This ain't nothing new. Their minds need to be strengthened. Because if their minds are not strengthened, I'm going to show you what the Most High does for people who feel like it's best to be a slave. The Torah was given to us as the children of Israel. And it wasn't given to us to be slaves. It wasn't even designed for slave people.
That's right.
It was designed for a free nation, a free sovereign people. But now here we are living in captivity, saying we obeying the laws, statutes, and judgments of the Creator. How the hell are you going to do that as a slave? You can't. It can't be done. And that's why we go to our oppressors for everything that we need. The Shabbat day is here. We got to call the oppressors and say, hey, can I get off of work today? And he say, okay, Prince, go ahead and take. How am I a prince? And I got to go to another man to ask him for my freedom to serve my Creator.
Right.
How is that possible? How are you a servant of the Most High, saying you're a Hebrew, a nation of priests, and you got to go to your oppressor and ask your oppressor for a day of liberation or a day of freedom so you can worship your Creator? Moses did that for the children of Israel, but then we were what? We were slaves. And we knew we were slaves. We felt that hard bondage, that labor. Today, they changed slavery from hard bondage to labor, and they call it a job, a J-O-B. And they give you a paycheck. And if you make a little bit more money than your brother sitting next to you, you think you better than the brother. That ain't nothing but slavery all turned around because the house nigga thought he was better than the field nigga. And then understand that we are all in the same boat. We are in captivity. But if we don't begin to look toward our freedom, if we don't stop bringing back these false reports, causing the disease of slavery to saturate the unconscious mind of our people, we're going to forever be slaves. That's not the way the Creator intended us to be. Read on. Let's see what happens, please.
Moshe sent them to spy out the land of Canaan, and said, Get you up this way by the south, and go up into the hill country and see the land, what it is, and the people that dwell therein, whether they are strong or weak, whether they are few or many, and what the land is that they dwell in, whether it is good or bad, and what cities they are that they dwell in, whether in camps or in strongholds, and what the land is, whether it is fat or lean, whether there is wood therein or not.
You see all them instructions the Most High gave? He said, go spy it out. See if they fat, lean, see if they got wood, see the strongholds, check out the weak spots. I want you to look at everything. And then bring me back a report. Now, I call for all the Israelite leaders to get together. I'm saying, yo, let's sit down at the table. Let's discuss these things. What? Our future and how we're going to move. Who do we have in the nation of Israel that's spying out our oppressors to look for those things that he just mentioned? Look for the strongholds. Look for the weak spots. Look for the places where we can actually take advantage to get up underneath of this curse, to get it up off of us. Well, Prince, what are you talking about, man? Your mind is in the wrong place. No, it's not. This is the time right now. We got to stop taking life as if it's sweet. And we got to look at the seriousness of the condition that we are in. Seriously. We have to, because if we don't, we're going to perpetuate our own slavery from now to tomorrow and forever. Until eventually they completely have their way with us. Everybody here knows that they're destroying us. Everybody knows that there's been a war waged against the black man in America. We all know this. How many of us are doing something to prepare for that war? Don't think it's about getting guns, because it's not. It's not about getting guns. The government rules over us because we lay down like sheep and we let them rule. When are you going to stand up like a man? Think about it. You take a wife. She accepts you as her husband. You accept her as her wife. And as she accepts you as her husband, you accept her as your wife, right? But if you don't go to this white man and get a license, he say you're not married. Then what are we doing? What are we doing? Some of the states will say, you know what? They got something that they call a
Common law.
Yeah, they got something that they call a common law marriage. If you're within a certain amount of states, certain states will recognize that. But if it was lawful, why aren't they all recognizing it? It's because they're sovereign. Each state in the United States is sovereign. They have the choice to choose and to make. Well, we, the Hebrew Israelites stuck in America in captivity, where's our sovereignty? Where do we have the right to choose who we want to marry, yes or no? And force the governments to accept what we say is our law. It ain't going to happen till we come together as a people. Stop being afraid. Search out, seek out, spy out, and bring it back home to that table where the leadership sit and have conversation with the leadership and let the leadership form a think tank to come together to decide the future of our people. We the poorest nation in the earth. Y'all know that? Do y'all know that we the poorest nation in the earth? We ain't got no money. Y'all know that?
I don't accept it.
Do y'all know that?
What is this we of which
We, black people in America, is the poorest nation on the planet. Do y'all know that?
No, sir.
Do y'all know that? Y'all act like it. But y'all act like it.
You just, now you're changing.
Y'all act like
No, you say we act.
y'all act like
How are we acting?
hear me out. Y'all act like we're the poorest nation on this planet. Want me to give you a small example of what I mean?
I'm here.
Where's our schools at?
Okay.
Where our hospitals at?
Shout out to Mr. Yeshua.
Where's our buses and our taxi cabs and all those things owned by black folk? Where they at? Where our police department?
Shout out to Saul.
Anything else that we got that we supposed to have being the second richest nation? Black people? We make more money than any other people, but we waste everything we get because we give it back to them. We're never going to stand up and be a sovereign nation if we continue to do that.
It ain't gonna work.
Look at us on the individual level. The average man makes around $45,000 a year. The average black man in America makes around $45,000 a year. If you got a man that makes more than that, they say he's above average. You follow me? How much of that money does he get to keep at the end of the year?
75%.
And not only that, if he knew what to do, he could. If he knew how to do it, he could. But the problem is, he wastes it. The average man...
I answered wrong. I'm sorry. 75% of the 45 is what he get take home. He probably keep none of that at the end of the day.
The average man wastes the majority of the power and resources that he have to gain his freedom. Now, notice I didn't say he wastes his money, although he does, but he wastes the opportunity that he has to gain freedom for him and his children. Y'all understand what I'm saying to you? Because he doesn't invest in anything but his oppression. Every dime he takes and he spends, he gives it to the mortgage company. Who's the mortgage company? His oppressor. He put money, gas in his car. Who's the gasoline people? His oppressor.
Habibi.
He goes shopping to the supermarket. Who owns the supermarket? His oppressors. You understand what I'm saying? He might take $100 out of all that money he made all year and actually sit on it and say, you know what? I earned something. And then when you get that $100, what do you want to do with it? Go on a vacation somewhere. And take that $100 and give it back to the oppressor. So in reality, what did he utilize for his freedom? How much of that $45,000 he earned that year did he give back and contribute to his freedom? You follow what I'm saying?
I'm here.
We can do it, fam. We can do it. But we got to stop thinking like a slave. We have to stop thinking like a slave. Because as long as we keep thinking like a slave, we're going to get slave results. Understand what I'm saying to you? So many black men today are so busy chasing the wrong thing, a piece of snatch. We shouldn't be chasing no snatch. We shouldn't be. We should be focused. Don't even ask. We should be focused on things that are needed and necessary for our freedom. That's what we should be chasing. Little children be learning, sitting down, being educated rather than watching television with homosexual cartoons. Turn it off. Or if you want the television on, turn the volume off and let them read the words. Teach them. Show them. Educate them. Make them strong in their youth. So when they get your age, they're like Superman. Let's go back to the book and let's see what our people did. Oh, I'm sorry. You're right, brother.
No, I was gonna just ask a question. But I don't know. When you look at how humans operate completely for thousands of years under oppression, this is actually how humans really behave: black, white, pink, or blue.
What human behave like that? Tell me one human that act like the black man in America.
People that been under oppression.
No.
I'm asking. Who else did it except us? That's what I'm asking.
But the black man in America has been the black man under oppression under everybody else.
Do you know why? You know why? It's a systematic design to keep the black man under.
I agree with you. But what I'm saying, America is not the only place that has oppressed the black man, this spirit, this melanated. So when you see it through different places, spaces, and time, it's the same way humanity, because every humanity kind of came out of the black man. So everything you're looking at is the black man anyway. So it's a game. When you look at it in a deeper way, is man playing a game with himself. Because as you give a perfect example, how can 6 white men hold down 1,000 black men? Is the black man himself, because the white Caucasoids came out of black people. So is the man against himself? Is when could be a way when the man rises, he rises, and when he falls, he falls. See, he's a victim of his own self and his ways and attributes.
We're saying the same thing.
Right.
But what I asked you about was that what other nation was oppressed like the black man in America and stayed oppressed for thousands of years?
There ain't really no other nation.
There is no other nation. That's my point. You right on point.
Is the black man seeing himself in so many different ways as other nation.
That's
I
right.
mean, he split himself because we know we capable of. We just split ourselves into so many different parts,
That's
and
right.
now we see ourselves as someone else. I could be wrong. I don't know.
Okay. Very good analogy. Any other comments or anything? All right, Kelfine, you ready?
Be ye of good courage and bring up the fruit of the land. Now that
Don't put the camera over there, please. Go ahead.
Now the time was the time of the first ripe grapes. So they went up and spied out the land from the wilderness of Zin unto Rehob, to the entrance of Hamath. And they went up by the south and came unto Hebron and Ahiman and Sheshai and Talmai, and the children of Anak were there. Now Hebron was built 7 years before Zoan in Egypt. And they came into the valley of Eshcol and cut down from thence a branch with one cluster of grapes, and they bare it upon a staff between two. They brought also of the pomegranates and of the fig.
Now stop there for a second. Do you know what a cluster of grapes is?
Cluster
Anybody know what a cluster of grapes is? Yes? What?
It's a cluster. I don't know how else to describe it. No, for real. It's just some grapes.
All connected to one main
Yeah,
branch.
like how
right?
you get it out. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
everything in one branch.
So they took one cluster of grapes off the trees, and 2 men had to carry one cluster of grapes.
Grapevine.
Crazy.
One piece of grape, one cluster of grapes you can pick up with one hand.
Mm-hmm.
Why were they that lazy that they had to have 2 men carry that one little cluster of grape? You know why it was? It's because a cluster of grape was huge. It's like Princess said, it was huge. It was large, big. That's how fruitful and prosperous the land was. Now let's synonymously take that cluster of grape today. We so used to eating on an individual level poison and bad food that we don't even know what good food look like. We don't know what a good life looks like because we've been living a trife life for so long. We don't even know what good living looks like. We have allowed our minds to take the Europeans' idea of living a good life and incorporate that into our understanding of what a good life is. Therefore, we strive for their version of a good life. And this is a fact. In the process of us striving for their version of a good life, what we incorporate into our behavior is selfishness, anger, and bitterness.
Individuality.
We know not, that's right, individuality. We know not how to love our brothers. We know not how to love our sisters. I can't even love her son or his daughter because they not me. And then we get to a point where I don't want you doing nothing to my, don't correct my child. Don't teach, my child act a fool, you bring them to me. The Europeans taught us that. That ain't never been our way of thinking. That's never been our trend of how we did things.
Right.
The European man, the oppressor, have taught us this individuality. If my house suffer, we all suffer. And that means we all got to come together and figure out a way to lift my house up so we can all come up. We can't have any weak links. None. But we don't understand that because we are so selfish in our own mind state that we only worried about me and minds. Well, in order for us to build this nation, we got to come out of that mind state. We got to come out of that form of conditioning and start thinking universally, nationalistically, as a nation and not as an individual any longer. Read on, please.
The place that was called the Valley of Escol because of the cluster which the children of Israel cut down from it. Wait. Yeah. And they returned from spying out the land at the end of 40 days.
Now, here go those princes. Here go that leadership. Those people who sitting in charge of these houses of worship. Your spiritual leader. Here they come back. What they gonna say? What they say? Please let me know.
And they went and came to Moshe and to Aharon, to all the congregation of the children of Israel, unto the wilderness of Paran, to Kadesh, and brought back word unto them and to all the congregation and showed them the fruit of the land.
They brought back to word to the congregation. They brought back and they said, hey, y'all, check this out. Look at this fruit. Huge, humongous grapes. We never seen nothing like this. Never. We never experienced anything on this level. Never. So now, my question is this. If the Most High was the children of Israel's power and he was blessing us, and we never seen anything of such great magnitude such as that, and he allowed our enemies to prosper and have their fruit so big, what possibly would he do for us if we really served him like we were supposed to?
That's a good question.
If he allowed our enemies who practice idolatry, who worship devils and demons and everything else, false idols and statues, Jesus statues and stuff, if he allowed them the fruit of their land to prosper in that manner, what will he do for us if we walk in righteousness after him? I mean, use your imagination. Where could we possibly go? My opinion is infinite how far we can go. I like somebody's example that somebody gave. I forget where I was at the other day. I heard somebody use this example. And I like that example that they used. That example was something like, what's that movie that they got out with the boy go like this?
Wakanda?
What's that movie with the boy go like that?
Oh, my
Yeah,
bad, my bad.
The black. You remember that land that they had, Wakanda? The land that they had underneath the ground in the caves, and it was like unbelievable.
Yeah.
That would just be the tip of the iceberg, what the Most High is willing to do for us. But we gotta believe it. And if we don't believe it, and we don't accept it, and we start working like we're gonna work toward it, if we don't do that, then the other nations are gonna continue to prosper, and we're gonna continue to go down, or be at a standstill, still debating over scriptures. What day is Yom Kippur? No, man, I say Yom Kippur is this day, man. How you gonna say it's that day? I say it's over here. This the day it's supposed to be. These are the type of things we're gonna be talking about. Is Jesus God? No, Jesus is a man. No, man, I said Jesus is God. So you gotta accept, well, I don't believe what you. Oh, man, F you. All right, we go, bang. And we're gonna settle things like the Europeans have taught us to settle things. And that's going to be the end of it. Then the European going to get involved. Somebody going to jail. Somebody going to be dead. And ain't nobody going to get the correct understanding in the teachings. And the children are going to suffer.
And nobody built nothing.
Nobody's building?
Nobody built nothing in that.
There you go. Let's see what the report was that they brought back to the people. Please.
And they told him and said, we came into the land where thou sentest us.
Now there's leadership now.
Surely it flowed with milk and honey, and this is the fruit of it. Howbeit the people that dwell in the land are strong, and the cities are fortified.
The people are strong. Is this government strong? That's why people say we can't change it, right?
Some kind of way.
It's too much of a challenge for us, isn't it? Oh, it's too much. You kick, man, they got 400 years over you, what? How you gonna change what they doing? That ain't gonna happen. What else they say about that, huh?
And the cities are fortified and very great.
They fortified. You can't go up against this army, the United States military, or any other military, Russian military, the Chinese military, the Israeli, supposed to have the #1 Air Force strike force team in the world. You can't go up against them. How? We scattered young black people walking around in the earth. We ain't even organized. How are we going to possibly defeat these fortified nations that's been in control for at least 400 years? How that's going to happen, Prince? I don't see it. Read on, please. This is the leadership talking now.
And moreover, we saw the children of Anak there. Amalek.
We saw the children of who?
Anak.
Do anybody know what the children of Anak is? They're giants. Huge people. They're huge. Well, let's look at this. These people are huge in stature, isn't they? Aren't they? These people got a mind that's unbelievable. Man, these Europeans, they make up some stuff, don't they? They going in outer space, ain't they?
So they say.
They got fusion bombs, don't they? They got large-minded people, don't they? Sit down right there. Sit in that chair right there. We can't possibly beat them. They got too much going on. They giants to us. And they money too long. They got too much wealth. Well, we put all of our money together, we might come up with $10,000. You know? They got hundreds of millions of dollars. Think about it for a second. Any program that they put in place, that they institute, they raise billions of dollars. They raise billions of dollars to get that process going through. And they do it too, don't they? Hey, you gotta be quiet, little man, okay? You're making too much noise. Hush. Sit back. Sit back. Be quiet. They raise that money. You know how they raise that money? Because other people who have decided to keep you down donate money. Here it it is, we in Goshen. We say, family, we got all this land here for y'all. Come, just be a part of what we're doing. How many people come? Let alone how many people come. I get a lot of people talking about they want to come. How many people you guys saying they want to come? A whole lot.
We don't need a lot of people. We need good people.
Yeah, I'm ready to get all to all that. But I'm just looking at the spiritual aspect of what we're doing to cause it to prosper. Because watch what I'm getting ready to say. For those people who have decided physically, well, I don't want to be there, for whatever the reason is, European nations don't think like that. European nations say, you know what? I don't want to be a part of that right now. But guess what? Here go 10,000. Y'all, push that agenda. Yo, here go 20,000. Push that agenda. Here go 70, 80,000. Or if they're poor and they're broke, they send a nickel, a dime, or a quarter. But they contribute. That's unity. Us black folk here in America, what do we contribute to? Especially if we ain't getting nothing out of it. Nothing. And then even a lot of the ones that say, I'm going to come and I'm going to be down there with y'all, what they contributing to it? Some of them do. I'm not going to act like they don't. Some people, every once in a while, they send up a couple bucks. They do. And I'm thankful for that. We are thankful for that.
True.
May the Most High bless their efforts and their participation on the level in which it is. But it's nowhere near enough for all the needs of our people to begin to be fed and met. And I'm not talking about the ones who are living here now. I'm talking about the ones who are future residents of this. Let me tell you what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying in a different way. You driving down 125th Street. You're on the train. You come up upon a Christian. And a Christian says, now that Christian actually lives here in Georgia, in Sparta. He don't even know you are Hebrew Israelite from Goshen. He said, oh, no, you ain't even got to be from Goshen. You could be from New York. He'll say, yo, bro, you see your friends, you say, you know what, some boys around there where I live at, they wear them things on their clothes too. You say, oh, okay, what's their name? He said, Prince Rob, and he got a couple of women and a couple of children, and they got some land down there right not too far from where I'm at. I said, oh, yeah, I know Prince Rob. He said, okay, well, tell me what this is. Oh, we Hebrew Israelites. That's what it is. Prince Rob is a prince to our nation. He's one of the brothers. And he got a little thing going on down there in Goshen where Israelites, but man, it looks a little raggedy though, man. That's how y'all live? That joint ain't really like it's supposed to be, man. It only look like 1 or 2 houses over there. The gates always open. Trash be all in the front of the street. Trash be in front of the street. I mean, what y'all got going on over there? Yo, we trying to do our best. You know, now the brother got to make excuses. What it is that I'm trying to get to, the real point is this. Although we ain't got trash running down the street, although we got more than 2 houses, the thing is that we represent the nation of Israel. The true Hebrew Israelites. We represent you. Even if you're not here with us, we represent you in the eyes of people who may never meet you. So how are we supposed to represent except with force and power? Now we've been doing all this time right now by our own strength through the Most High's blessing, by our own might. Now imagine if everybody that was able, that is a Hebrew Israelite and call themselves by the name of Israel, was able to donate at least $100. How much more we could get done. But the oppressor has taught us not to trust each other. Oh man, how you know what they gonna do with that money? I seen that boy that they call Prince Rob. I see him driving a Porsche. He probably take that money and buy another little shorty car or whip, something like that, man.
That's hard-earned money.
That's how they taught us to think. But they did that purposely. They engineered that. And they taught it to our leaders. So those people who are now our leadership are the same people coming back with that report saying what we cannot do. Saying that they're too big for us. They're too great for us. They're too powerful for us. We can't possibly do it. Rather than bringing back the report of how we can do it. Yo, you know what? If the leadership stood in front of his congregation and said, you know what? Well, them brothers down in Goshen, I really don't like him, especially that Prince Kez, man. That dude, he's just a cornball. I don't like him. And Rob he's all right, but, That Prince Cass, he messes it all up. If it was Rob by himself, then I'll be more willing to help, participate. But he turned around to his congregation and says, you know what? So, in spite of what me not liking Prince Cass and me halfway getting along with Prince Rob, this is what we're going to do, fam. We're going to put a food drive out. We're going to put a money drive out. We're going to raise up some funds. And we're going to send them $10, $15, $20, $100,000. Even if it take us a year to do this, we're going to take and we're going to donate that money to Goshen. You know why? Because they represent us. They represent us. And we're going to make sure that what they're doing is successful. That's the kind of report that we need to come back. That's the kind of report that would be pleasing to the Creator. But instead, the leadership is saying, no, that's impossible. We can't do that. It's too hard. It's too great. The government is too strong. They've been in position for too many years. There's nothing we can do to bring them down. And we can't rise to our rightful place in the earth because they're not going to let us. Read on, please. Let us know where we at.
Verse 29. Amalek dwelleth there in the land of the south, and the Hittite, and the Jebusite, and the Amorite.
And the children of who?
The Amorite and the Jebusite dwell in the hill country, and the Canaanite dwelleth by the sea and along by the side of the Jordan. And Caleb stilled the people before Moshe.
But Caleb said, hold, chill out. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Go ahead, read on.
And said, let us go up at once and possess it, for we are able to overcome it.
Caleb said, we got the ability to do this. You hear me lying? We got the ability to do it. We can do this, huh? It might be a job for us to do, but we can get it done. You hear that, Zakane? Zakane? You hear that?
I think he's back on the grill.
He looking where you right my elbow. We can do it, Doc. We can do it, fam. We got to stop thinking that it's too hard and too much and too great and too strong for us to do. We can do it. Would it please the Most High? I say this. That thing that we don't do by sitting back, not coming together, not working in unison, and not being united is displeasing to the Creator. Watch what the Most High did to the people who brought back those reports. Read on, please. Watch what happened.
The men that went up with him said, we are not able to go up against our people, for they are stronger than we. They brought up an evil report out of the land which they had spied out unto the children of Israel, saying, the land through which we have gone to spy out, it is a land that eateth up the inhabitants thereof. And all the people that we saw in it are men of great stature. And there we saw the Nephilim, the sons of Anak, who came up the Nephilim.
They got too much going on over there, huh? They got too much. They've been in power for too long. Ain't nothing we can do about this. We got to stay slaves where we are, but yet still keep the laws of the Most High. The laws of the Most High will cause you to fight for your freedom if you're really doing the laws of the Most High. If you are obeying the Creator, like the scriptures say for you to do so. See, the problem is this. This is what part of the problem is. People hear the word Bible, and they start automatically thinking religion. And this ain't got nothing to do with religion. Nothing. People hear, oh, that's the Bible. And automatically their minds are tuned into religion. That's not who we are. We're not a religious people.
Break it down for me.
We are a nation of people who serve the Almighty. And anywhere you go, anything you incorporate yourself into, any process, any group, any land, anywhere you go, you got rules to follow. And the Torah are our rules to follow in our lives. That's it. It's just that simple. There are rules to this. There are general rules in nature. If the cat goes into the dog's den with strange dogs, there are laws there too. That law says that cat is putting his life at his own risk. Is that right?
Factual.
There are laws there. So if that cat saw that law and understood that law, he could possibly prolong his days, right? The Most High gave us a set of laws, commandments, and statutes, and they were used to prolong our days and cause us to appear to be great and mighty in the sight of the nations. But we forgot about all that. Let's see what happens. Read on, please.
And We were in our own sight as grasshoppers, and so were we. So we were in their sight. Chapter
That was
14.
very discouraging to the people. Because, the people were faint-hearted. They didn't have no muscle. They didn't have no strength. They didn't have no confidence. And when somebody talked a little bit of talk in the wrong direction, it made them afraid. It made their hearts faint. And they began to say what we can't do, what is not possible. Or we can't do this. If I said to you right now that this is Goshen, we in Goshen, this is Goshen, and within 5 years, we're going to have houses completely, the right people, like you said, the right people in these houses, from that road down William Street, and then we're going to cut a street in the path. We're going to make a new street in the path, have houses on both sides of that road, houses all the way wrapped around here, and another road in the back cutting across to the Knesset, and put houses on both sides of the streets there. So we'll have about 500 houses here within the next 5 years. And Sparta, the city, we're going to own majority of the buildings in the city, downtown Sparta, and we're going to run them and have our own businesses and incorporate our own employees so that we can go there every day, make money, and do what we need to do to provide as a self-sufficient people. How many of you think we can do that? How many of you would even stand behind us taking on that initiative to do such a thing? And how many people you going to say, oh, Prince, y'all ain't going to do that. Oh, we can't do that. I don't even know why you talk that big talk, because you ain't really about it. So shut up, Prince. This is our reality, because people are telling us what we can't do instead of helping us to do the impossible. Instead of helping us to do the impossible, they're really causing the other Israelites, because you got leadership in positions. These people were leaders. They went and came back to the people and told them that it's beyond the Most High's ability. The Most High can't bring us that kind of success.
Blasphemy.
You understand? The Most High is not, that's what you're really saying. When you say we can't do something, you're actually limiting the Creator. It's not even flesh and blood that we're dealing with on that level. Because flesh and blood on that level with the resources we got, you're right, it's impossible. But if we come together as a nation with the Most High in the midst of all this, we can do anything that we set our minds to do. Anything. This is why the Most High got upset with them. Because the Most High said, this is your nation. Now go get it. They said, all right, go spy out the land so we'll know the best strategy to get it. But when they came back, the report was, oh, no, they're too big and too mighty for us. No, man, they're going to kill us and kill our kids. Don't do that. Don't stir those people up. That's what they're saying. I ain't saying that. I'm saying stir the people up. Make them jealous of the power of the Almighty and how the Most High blessed the people of Israel. And start off with a little place like Goshen as our beginning plot that we began to utilize and build up and made a small sanctuary in the place of our captivity, meaning the land of our captivity. Within the land of our captivity, the Creator said He will be a small sanctuary in that place. Let's make Goshen that sanctuary. Let's take on that challenge. Read on, please.
Chapter 14. And all the congregation lifted up their voice and cried, and the people wept that night. And all the children of Israel murmured against Moshe and against Aaron.
Do you see how upset these people were? I don't know if y'all understood that. Could you read that one more time a little bit slower? Watch how upset the people was that we couldn't go to war against these people. Read it.
And all the congregation lifted up their voice and cried.
They did what? They cried. They were hurt. He's trying to kill us. It should have been better for us in the wilderness than it is right here. What is you trying to do to us, Moshe? What makes you think it's possible that we could destroy this great country that stands before us? Or even go and take possession of something and claim it as our own? They were upset. Read on, please. What did they do?
The whole congregation said unto them.
Who did it?
The whole congregation.
The whole congregation. What influenced the whole congregation?
The report.
What influenced the whole congregation, or who influenced the whole congregation?
The leadership.
The leadership. This is why you gotta be careful who you choose to be your leadership. If your leader has no vision for your future, he shouldn't be your leader. If your leadership is waiting for somebody to fall out of the sky to bring you a future, then he shouldn't be your leader. If your leader is teaching you to wait on anybody other than yourself, then that man, that woman should not be your leader. Because anything you want in this life, you got to go get it. You make prayer tefillah before the Almighty, then you get up like my brother taught yesterday. You get up and put your hands to it and make something happen. Just that simple. These people were so upset at the bad report. See, Caleb spoke too, but they didn't pay Caleb no mind. They didn't pay him no mind. It's something about negativity that we're prone to. We gravitate toward negativity over the positivity almost all the time. Except if we got a righteous mindset within us. Read on, please, and let's see what happens. How mad did they get? How angry did they get? Did they want to kill somebody? What did it say?
Would that we had died in the land of Egypt, or would we had died in this wilderness?
We rather die in the land of Egypt. Well, we rather die in the wilderness than to go and try to take that land that the Most High promised us. Remember again, they're not cursing Moses. They're not cursing Yehoshua or Caleb. They're cursing the Creator. They're spitting in the Most High's face. Read on, please.
And wherefore does the Most High bring us into this land to fall by the sword? Our wives and our little ones will be a prey. Were it not better for us to return into Egypt?
You see that? You see that? This is what happens when you let majority rule. You can't let majority rule. It can't be this way. Because them people will favor the position of whatever leader they like. They'll favor that position. And that leader could be 100% wrong, but because he speak a little smooth or talk a little good, how righteous is his life? That's the question. That's what it should be. How does he reflect the teachings of the Creator? How dedicated is he to this cause? Is he willing to die for you? Is he willing to go a week without electric or gas so that you and your children can eat? You see what I mean? This is what strong, real strong leadership is all about. Not these faint-hearted dudes walking around talking about somebody else is going to deliver us. Somebody going to bring us some salvation. We got to wait till he crack the sky. He's going to come down with 1,000,000 chariots, and they're going to do it. Meanwhile, you keep giving me your donations, your contributions, and we're going to build this thing right here. And what he doing? He's paying his bills. He's lining his pockets. He's getting them nice stretched out cars and rides. He's tricking them girls on the side, but you don't know nothing about it because he don't tell you. He breaking them off a little bit so they don't tell you. It's evil. And the Most High should expose all wickedness. Read on, please.
They said one to another, let us make a camp and let us return to Egypt. And Moshe and Aaron fell on their faces before all the assembly of the congregation of the children of Israel. Joshua the son of Nun and Caleb the son of Jephunneh who were with them, and spied out the land, rent their clothes. And they spake unto all the congregation of the children of Israel.
Now,
saying,
stop for a second. Caleb and Yehoshua were so upset at that report that it hurt them. It hurt them so bad they ripped their clothes. They cried. And then they spoke to the children of Israel. And watch what they say. Read on, please.
saying,
Is it
the
still
land
recording?
which we passed
Still
through,
moving?
spy it out,
Yeah,
is
we
an
good.
exceedingly good land. If the Most High delight in us, and he will bring us into this land and give it unto us, the land which flows with milk and honey.
Do you see what he said? If the Most High delights in this, the Most High will make it possible. The same thing we saying about what's taking place right here in this land of our captivity. If what we're doing is pleasing to the Almighty, if he takes delight in it, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Don't get discouraged, people. Don't get discouraged, family. We can do this. We can do it. We got to fight for our freedom. But watch what happens. Read on, please.
Only rebel not against the Most High. Neither
Rebel not against who?
the Most High.
He didn't say rebel not against Moses. He didn't say rebel not against me. He didn't say those things. He said you're rebelling against the Almighty. You know why? Because the Most High said what was yours. And only you are stopping you from getting what the Most High said belonged to you. Read on, please.
Neither fear ye the people of the land, for they are bread for us.
Don't never fear flesh and blood. He says, neither fear ye the people of the land. Don't never fear flesh and blood.
heard it.
I like to tell that story of how Elisha was on the mountain with one of his disciples, one of his students. And the enemy had sent 50 men to come out and get him and destroy him. That's what happened. They fell down. And the student, the disciple, was scared. He was afraid because all these men were surrounding him. And it was just them two. And they didn't want to fight him. They couldn't fight him. They was afraid to fight him. The reason why he was afraid, because he thought as man thought. He denied the ability of the Creator. He thought as man thought. Well, how could two men destroy all these men? Elisha said, why are you upset? He said, there are more with us than are with them.
Mm-hmm.
Never fear flesh and blood. There are more that are with you if you're living your life righteously before the Creator. There are more with you than there are with flesh and blood. You want to say something?
Yeah, I find it real intriguing the way that he said it right there. He had the same belief that you're talking about, because he said, don't fear them, they food. That's how I heard it in my
They
head.
food. That's what he said. That's right. They food. You're going to eat them up. It's exactly right. But see, the thing what happened with Elisha was Elisha asked the Most High to open his eyes to his servant, so his servant or his disciple could see the armies of Israel that surrounded the camp that was trying to destroy them. And I ask the same thing to the Most High, to our people today. Creator, please open their eyes, cleanse their mind, and rebuild the functions of their mind, so that we can see that we are able through your blessings. Because too many of us can't see that. Too many of us take our money and spend it frivolously on all the wrong things. And then you get somebody in your life trying to teach you how to properly do it, and you become angry. Don't tell me what to do with mine. This is mine. But if we really about development and growth and moving toward the future, that individual will understand what it's about. But we don't, because we have learned individuality. Individuality is what we've learned, and what we do and how we move as individuals and not as a nation. Now, Prince trying to tell you what to do with your money. Give a portion of your money to the development of your people. Donate some, even if you don't want to be a part of it. Donate it, a portion of it, to help what's going on in the process of rebuilding this nation. Or pack up your bags and come. But you got to put an application in and make sure you accept it first.
True.
And come. And see, don't the Most High take your blessings and open the windows of heaven and pour down so many blessings upon you that you won't have room to receive them all. Read on, please.
And their offenses removed from over them, and the Most High is with us. Fear them not. For all the congregation based
Who he said was with us?
the Most High is with us.
The Most High is with us. There's nothing that we cannot do when the Most High is on our side. Nothing. Read on, please.
For all the congregation bathed, stoned them with stones. And the glory of
All the congregation did what?
stoned them with stones.
Stoned them with stones.
They big stones.
They what? They what?
Bathed, stoned them with
They made.
Big. I mean, they said.
They was ready
let's
to.
stone with
Yeah, they was ready to. They was preparing to. All the congregation stoned them with stones.
Babes.
In their mind, this is what they wanted to do. In their mind, Moses committed a sin. Moses did some evil. And Moses was the most righteous amongst all of them. But if you get enough people on your side and in your favor, you can turn righteousness into evil and evil into righteousness. All you got to do is have enough people saying the opposite of righteousness, and the minds of the people will be swayed, and they'll move in that direction. Because people are easily attracted to what?
Negativity.
Yeah, but this also shows you how fast that us as a people turning each other versus the real
That's right.
threat.
That's
Facts.
right. Say a little bit about that. Tell me what that's about. Go ahead, I like that.
It just said, because we see it in society. Ourselves, we're turning ourselves faster. We'll get a gun. We'll take down will create a situation or a scenario to take on another brother for
Mhm.
wealth, for whatever,
Mhm.
will spawn something to create a division, to create something amongst ourselves, but we will not spawn the same type of ideas to take down
The real enemy.
The real
the
enemy.
real enemy.
That's
The
right.
real enemy is just an enemy, is an enemy, is an enemy. But we don't think like that. Again, it's all, and I'm listening to you speak, but we
Yes,
cannot blame anyone for the things we do
That's
until we start to blame and take control over our own thoughts and our action,
There you go.
and nothing will happen.
There you go. Let's close it out. Go ahead. Read on, please.
And the Most High and the glory of the Most High appeared in the tent of meeting unto all the children of Israel. And the Most High said unto Moshe, how long will this people despise me? And how long will they not believe in me for all the signs which I have wrought among them? I will smite them with the pestilence and disinherit them, and will make of thee a greater nation, mightier than they.
Now stop right there for a second. Do you see that the Most High didn't have no problem destroying his own people?
Quick.
You understand that? For disobedience, for disrespect, for dishonor. But you got a man right now, and women, please forgive me for this, but I gotta use it as an example. You got a man right now that refused to let her go. We refuse to let her go. Why? Oh, I love her. I want her. Well, she did this, and this. Why are you still holding on to her? Oh, I have to have her. But you know she violated the laws of the Most High. Yeah, but the Creator, yeah, and then, yeah, but see, even the Creator took Israel back. We make all these reasons or justifications to allow evil to exist within us, but then we want the Most High to bless us. The Most High ain't had no problem saying, I will destroy them, Moshe. Move out of the way, step to the side, let me get them. And Moshe, I'll use you and raise up a new nation of people through you. Moshe, because he loved the people. Now the people was ready to stone him.
Mm-hmm.
The people was ready to kill him. What man did you know today that would have said, all right, Creator, let's go, let's get it in. Kill them all, Creator, and work through me. That means you're going to give me 50 wives, and I'm going to get all of them impregnated, and they're going to all have children at the same time, and we're going to build up a new nation. What man do you know that walked the earth today that you have that kind of trust and confidence in, that you think, you ain't got to be right, but that you think would have did what Moshe did, and say, no, Creator, please don't destroy him.
I know a couple.
Don't ignore him.
I know a couple.
That's good. Those are the people we need on the team. Don't destroy them, Creator. You don't have to do this with me. Just forgive your people and raise them up. Read on, please.
Moshe said unto the Most High, then the Egyptians will hear, for thou broughtest up this people in thy might from among them. They will tell to the inhabitants of this land. They have heard that thou, the Most High, art in the midst of the people. For thou, the Most High, art seen face to face, and thy cloud stand over them. And thou goest before them in the pillar of cloud by day and the pillar of fire by night. Now if thou shalt kill this people as one man, then the nations which have heard the fame of thee will speak, saying, because the Most High was not able to bring this people into the land which he swore unto them, therefore he hath slain them in the wilderness.
Now this is the same man they was ready to kill. He just prolonged their days. The Most High got an answer for all that though. Read on. I thought Moshe said he was slow to speak. Didn't he say he had a speech impediment or something? He couldn't talk too good. He wasn't eloquent with his words. Ain't that what he said?
At one point, yeah.
He just laid it down, didn't he? He convinced the Creator to go with his plan. So you know he was a heck of a speaker. Read on, please.
And now I pray thee, let the power of the Most High be great, according to as thou hast spoken, saying, the Most High is slow to anger and abundant in love and kindness.
And he had to remind the Most High of his own words. Remember you said that? We know you slow to anger, mercy and truth and all that stuff. Creator, have mercy on your people. Read on.
Forgiving iniquity and transgression, that will by no means clear the guilty, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, upon the third and upon the fourth generation. Pardon, I pray thee, the iniquity of this people, according unto the greatness of thy love and kindness, and according as thou hast forgiven this people from Egypt, even until now. And the Most High said,
Watch what the Most High say.
I have pardoned according to thy word. But in very deed, as I live, and as all the earth shall be filled with the glory of the Most High, because all those men that have seen my glory and my signs, which I have wrought in Egypt and in the wilderness, yet have tempted me these 10 times, and have not hearkened to my voice, Surely they shall not see the land which I swore unto their fathers.
They will not see the land that I swore to their fathers for their disobedience and their disrespect. They're not going to see it. From 20 years old on upward. Read on.
Neither shall any of them that despise me see it. But my servant Caleb, because he had another spirit with him, and had followed me fully.
Stop there for a second. I would love to expound on that portion a little bit. The Most High said, neither do those who despise me. They won't see it either. What that mean, despise him? I'm going to drop a jewel on you for a minute. What does that mean, you despise the Most High?
And you don't like the laws?
The Creator says in the book of Isaiah, the 29th chapter, the 13th verse. Somebody want to grab that and read that for me?
You said where?
Isaiah 29 and 13. We talking about how you could despise the Creator.
Isaiah chapter 29 and 13. The Lord said, inasmuch as this people has drawn close to me with its mouth and with its lips, it has honored me, yet it has distanced its heart from me. Their fear of me is like the rote learning of human commands. Continue.
Y'all understand that? You despise the Most High by pretending to love Him, to serve Him, to obey Him. That's how you despise Him. You think He's stupid. You think He don't know what you're really feeling inside your essence. You really don't want to do this law. Some people be here for a man. Some people be here for a woman. Some people be here for power. But this law of the Most High is really not in them. They don't really want to do the laws of the Creator. Their desires is not toward the Most High in truth and in righteousness. It's a makeup. It's a pretend. And usually those people are the people that tell us the things like, it's too hard for us to do. It's impossible. We can't conquer this. We can't achieve this. Those are usually those type of people that says this thing because they don't have really faith and trust and belief in what the Most High can do and what He's capable of and what He will do for us, His people. That's how you despise the Almighty. Read on, please.
It's the original version.
Yeah, follow
The original version.
And will I bring you to the land where he went, and his seed shall possess it.
Numbers 13.
Numbers 14, verse 25.
All right, we ain't gonna have time for all that. I was going all the way up to 15, but we ain't got time for all that. So we're gonna stop it right there.
Okay.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Keep it going if you ain't cut it off here.
We
I
here,
just
we
want to
here.
add to what he said. Hallelujah.
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 There's a lot of stuff he said there, and I hope y'all caught it all. Let's look at verse 31 in chapter 13. I'm going to be 3 minutes, and I promise I'll let y'all get to the food. It says, then the men who had gone up with him said, we are not able to go up against the people, for they are stronger than we are. Were the Israelites lying? They were absolutely telling the truth. The people there was bigger than them. They were more organized than them. They had more military than them. They couldn't beat them. But the problem that the Israelites had was what? They thought it was really their fight. They thought it was really their fight. It was never their fight to begin with. It was the fight of the Elohim. I hope you don't miss that. So sometimes you will look at something and you will assess it and you will say, this is an unbeatable situation, and you're right if you're imagining you're the person that has to fight it. But it's not your fight to fight. Always remember that. So like you hear, I know you hear Prince talk stuff and Prince will talk stuff and he'll say things like, throw down the government. That's not your fight to fight. Your only fight to fight is to be right with the Most High. Let the Most High handle his own beef. Y'all don't hear me. The Most High can handle his own beef. He can handle his own problem. You imagine that you have to, but that is not true. Another thing, the fact that you people that are here around this room, literally y'all in this room right here today, y'all proof that not all negative generalizations about black people are accurate. Because when you hear the generalizations that you hear spoken about black people, it doesn't fit you. So the fact that it doesn't fit you means it's not universally true. I say reject all of it. So when you hear things that say like people that are talk things like saying, hey, the black people can't come together, the black people can't do this, blah, 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 blah. They talking for their damn self. That don't got anything to do with you. Does it fit you? Does it fit you? Does it fit you? Then it ain't got nothing to do with you. Don't even own that. And when you hear it, don't repeat it. And when people repeat it, don't regurgitate it. Rebuke all of it. Because you proof that it's not true. Y'all with me? You proof that it's not true. And let me tell you something. The thing that's very special about what we're doing in Goshen is that it's Yah's will. It's Yah's will. That means if you are in alignment with the will of Yah, you cannot fail. Did you hear me? Mm-hmm. If your actions are in alignment with the will of Yah, failure is not even an option. It's only how are we going to come past this obstacle. Failure is not an option. It's not even possible because, again, it's not your fight. You can't, the Most High can't lose. So if it's not your fight and it's Yah's fight, you can't lose if you're in alignment with that. Let me tell you something. None of it makes sense. From when Goshen started, as Yah's my witness, all I remember is one $30 donation from Gaverick Dina, Adon Yeroa's wife. Period. We got all these hundreds of acres. We got dozens of property. We got commercial property. Make the math make sense. Because it's Yah's will. It was destined to be. So never lose heart, man. Never get discouraged. Never get discouraged. When people talk and some people gonna hate, and the fact that people hate is proof that you're getting busy. Y'all don't hear me. There's people that don't like LeBron. And they like basketball. It don't make sense. There's people that say, they think about that. He's nice. You know he's nice. You don't like him because he's smoking the team you like better. So the proof that you're getting busy is that you got some haters. It's like in the wise words of one random rapper, if you ain't got no haters, you ain't popping. Never let any of that discourage you. Always know all these things we doing is in alignment with the will of Yah, and that evidence is the output. That's why you'll never hear me say something like, let's get more people here. The last time we did that and we had a group of people we was going to unify with, wickedness came out of it. Right? So what we learn now is that when we move, we don't move with our will. We move with the will of Yah, then only good could come out of it. Because everything begets after its kind. You understand? You know, Prince is smart. He's not, what he's saying is not random. It's not random. The things that he's saying about donations, the things he's saying to draw people to what we're doing, it's a wise strategy. The reason, and it's smart and it's good. The reason why I never do it, is because I know it's already not, it's not for me to convince them. You understand me? It's not for us to convince them. It's for us to build it. Because if nobody else come, order the children and the children having children and children having children, a fill this up in 30 years, we'll be overcrowded. We need another 200 acres. So fret not, man. A lot of times we imagine that we understand how God is going to do a thing that we cannot know. Right? So I want y'all to feel good today because it's a kag, it's a Yom Tov. Feel good. Have your spirit feel good. Have your heart feel good. Eat a lot of food, feel good, and know that your path is in alignment with Yah. Hallelujah. 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 Okay. So who's going to say the closing prayer? I know y'all still trying to drum? Oh, yeah. Kai's like, I'd rather eat, man. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Who's going to say the closing prayer?
Most High be free.
Keep it.